All right, welcome back. Today we're gonna meal prep, but this is a special meal prep. It is the week after Christmas. So last week I was in Arizona visiting my brother and his family. So that was really fun and really nice. I got to see my niece and his puppies and everybody. So yeah, that was a super lovely trip. We went to the Grand Canyon. To be honest, wasn't tracking anything. So I did go to the gym a couple times because my brother, my sister, honestly, my whole family and I are very into like fitness and stuff. So we still enjoy going to the gym, even kind of around the holidays. So I went to his gym out there when we were there. So I got a little bit of that in, which is great. The food, it wasn't terrible, but I definitely kind of something I'm trying to work on is when I'm not like if I have a day where I don't track because I'm like, oh, like it's a holiday day or oh, I'm traveling, like it's harder to keep track of like what I'm eating, then I kind of go balls to the wall and I'm like, we're eating all the things. And so I'm trying to like find a middle ground there, so that my progress can be the best that it can be and I'm not like hindering myself. So anyway, all that's to say, we are meal prepping. I'm not actually going to work this week. The pro working at a university, I have 2 full weeks off basically, between Christmas and New Year's. So I'm not working again until January 5th, which is super nice. So there's not really a need for me to meal prep, but the reason that I am is very exciting. I adopted a dog. Puppy! In a cup. And I've wanted a dog for so fucking long. And I'm finally ready for one. You can see in the background, I've started to get all my stuff. She's not here yet. I adopted her from a German Shepherd rescue, but she is getting spayed. So she's getting spayed tomorrow, and then I can either pick her up tomorrow afternoon if she gets spayed early in the morning, or I can pick her up Wednesday. So we'll see which day it ends up being. It's about a 4-hour drive for me one way to this rescue, so it'll either be tomorrow or Wednesday. But the point being, I'm going to have a new family member in my apartment, and I am beyond excited. And when she's here, she's going to get my absolute full attention. So I want to set myself up for success. I've still got my body recomp goals. With her, I'll also have a lot more activity as well, which is great. But yeah, I went to Whole Foods on Saturday, before I went up to the adoption, to the shelter, or the rescue. And because I wasn't sure if I was going to be bringing her home then. But yeah, I've had today. So anyway, now I'm kind of just blabbering on, but we're meal prepping. So I have healthy food. I already went grocery shopping. So now we just have to make the things. That way I can just focus on training my puppy, being with my puppy, and helping her adjust, because I'm sure it's going to be a lot for her at first, and we're going to learn together, but I'm very excited. So let's get started with this special meal prep. All right, so first things first, I am just going to make some chicken breasts. I got 6 of them, so that should hopefully last me like 6 dinners. And I got, weirdly, Whole Foods was like totally cleaned out of vegetables, so I did end up getting some frozen provincial blend vegetables, oh my god, which we will make in a little bit here, but I'm just gonna do that with rice and chicken. So that's the first meal we're gonna kind of focus on right now. All right, like I said, I got 6. I feel like in all these clips my hair is back. I need to get my bangs trimmed. I need to get a real haircut. I gave myself a haircut. I actually put that in a couple vlogs back. Not the actual haircut, but the aftermath. So my hair is just not working for me right now. And honestly, I'm going to be focusing on my dog. So we're just going to let it grow a little bit and then go get a real haircut, and then the bangs will be back. They'll be banging. All right, I'm gonna use my big tray for this one. Forgot to preheat my oven, so that just started, but we're heating it at 400 degrees. I am still relatively new to eating meat again. So I don't make these a lot, but we are going to, oh, I need to write down all this stuff. So how much, I'm gonna figure out how many ounces this is and get back to you. All right, like I said, I really need to get a tripod, but we've got 6 chicken breasts here. They're actually much bigger than I realized, so might last me longer than I thought. But anyway, I'm gonna put some avocado oil spray on. I've been trying to use a spray instead of just normal olive oil, because it does kind of help save you some calories. And I'm all about just trying to maximize, you know, my food. And then we're gonna put on a bit of pepper. We've got some salt. We're gonna do garlic powder, onion powder. We'll throw a little bit of chili powder on there. Why not? Oregano. I do love oregano. I don't know. Apparently, like, oil of oregano is like super good for you. But we're just gonna load her up. Okay. Guess I should maybe do the other side too, huh? Okay. All right, the chicken is all seasoned. The oven is preheated. We're gonna pop it in for 20 to 25 minutes. All right, I totally lied. We are going to skip to the next meal now while the chicken is cooking, because these also need to bake. So I've got 5 sweet potatoes of various size here, and I'm going to dice them up, weigh them so I can track them, and then I'll show you how I season them. I really need to get a tripod. But I realized I wasn't recording while I was dicing, but I have one left over because when I diced it up, it ended up being a lot more than I thought. So we're gonna season now anyway. These angles are reminding me how much I need to fix my hair. But anyway, we got our sweet potatoes. I'm gonna 0 it on the scale. And then a little bit of real olive oil this time. Maybe 5 grams. There we go. Butter, salt, trusty salt and pepper. I think I might add this chili onion sprinkle from Trader Joe's. And maybe some everything but the bagel seasoning. Smoked paprika. Now, should I use a spoon for this? No. Honestly, I should have started with these because they're probably gonna take like 40 minutes to cook, but that's okay. Okay, pretty much the last thing we need to cook is this provincial blend. So it's got yellow bell peppers, zucchini, red bell peppers, tomatoes, eggplant, water, olive oil, basil, garlic, sea salt, rice flour, citrus fiber, and white pepper. Just pop it in a pan, and that should be good. If this works, I guess, is a lot easier and more affordable than buying your own vegetables and chopping them up and all that, but we'll see. All right, we've got our frozen vegetables cooking. We've got our rice, has about 7 minutes left, and our chicken is looking gorgina. So I think this meal will be ready first. This is all 3 together in one meal. Then we've got the sweet potatoes. I have ground turkey that I'll have to stir up, and then that'll go with cottage cheese and avocado. Meal one is done. We got 6 servings out of it. It's the rice, we got the vegetables, and then the chicken on top. I might add like some hot sauce or something, but we'll see once I dive into it, because I've got a little serving for dinner tonight. 767 calories per serving in this, and like 101 grams of protein per serving. I think if I was gonna make it again, because it's the first time I've made it, I just kind of like, I mean, it's chicken, rice, and vegetables. It's not revolutionary. I don't need this much chicken is what I've realized. I don't need 100 grams of protein in this. I would maybe honestly cut this in half, get 3 chicken breasts, slice those in half, and then use a half. And it would still be 50 grams of protein per serving, almost, or maybe even a little more. And still a very solid dinner, but I think this was more than I thought. I'm obviously going to eat it, but yeah, I mean, it smells really good. I think it'll be delish, but just a bit more food than I realized. So I think next time I would make it just a little bit smaller. All right, last like cooking order of business is just our turkey. I've got a lean turkey. I don't know what percent it is. Oh, 97% lean. So that's pretty, or 93% lean. That's pretty lean. We've got about a pound here. So I'm just going to cook that up, season it, and yeah. Now for seasoning, we're gonna do the classic salt and pepper. Obviously, I put a little bit of that avocado spray here. And then I have been loving this everything but the leftovers Trader Joe's seasoning with my turkey. I feel like it just makes sense, and I use a shit ton of it. Got onion powder. I would also use garlic powder, but I just ran out with the chicken. A bit of chili. Honestly, I really just use the same spices for like most things. That's the theme. I don't think I want to add paprika. Maybe a bit of cumin. I'm gonna let this cook. Maybe try to clean up a little bit. Our sweet potatoes have like 5 minutes left, and then the rest we're gonna have to do once they're in their little portions. All right, meal 2. We got the sweet potatoes out of the oven, ground turkey done, and then we've got our cottage cheese and our avocado. So what I'm gonna do with the cottage cheese is basically when I tracked this meal in my little calorie counter thing, I made it as a recipe with 5 servings. So I basically just put in like, I don't know, how many grams is this? 680 grams for the whole recipe. So I'll use this whole thing and then divide it among the servings. And they don't have to be exactly equal among the servings because it'll balance out by the end of the week. And then for this avocado, because I don't want to count the skin or the pit, I'm going to scoop it out here to get more of an accurate count for that. We'll assemble them into these bowls, and then I'll add a little bit of hot honey on top. And these are delicious. I'm sure you've seen this recipe if you've looked at all into like meal prep, body recomp stuff. But I just use turkey instead of beef because it's leaner, and I'm really not eating beef. But yeah. All right, here they are in all their glory. I ended up actually using about a little over half of the cottage cheese. I will say this week I was a little off on what I bought and probably ended up buying too much. Like I think I made a little bit too much sweet potato. The avocado looks great. I don't know, maybe it's not too much sweet potato, but definitely did not need all of that cottage cheese. So I had to kind of estimate there because I was already kind of scooping it out. I didn't really know how to measure it at that point, but I would say I maybe used about 400 grams. But yeah, I'll get better at this as I do it. But these are solid. I know I like these, so we're good to go. All right, that's honestly all I have for this week. I might insert a clip of my breakfast. This week I decided I'm just gonna do Greek yogurt with a little, a little extra stuff. So I'll insert that here if I end up filming that tomorrow morning. All right, I know I said I would film it and then I totally forgot, but at least I'm remembering now. All that's in here is Greek yogurt, my chocolate protein powder mixed in, and then some banana. And it is delicious. Since I am just, that is easy enough and quick enough to be able to do even once my dog's here. So I decided not to prep breakfast for this week, but yeah, I just wanted to show a little meal prep, a little something, and that's going to be the video for this week because I'm absolutely not confident in my ability to film anything once my dog is here. But yeah, very exciting week for me.